Welcome to the course Build a Web Resume with WordPress. In this course, you will be learning how to set up your web page from creating a brand new SiteGround hosting account and domain, and then we'll be installing WordPress and installing plugins and learning how to use the theme to build this resume website that you'll be able to impress your prospective employers with. Hey guys, I appreciate and thank you for watching this video. If you would like to help support this channel when you're wanting to set up a SiteGround account, please use the affiliate link that's located in the description. It'll look something like this, siteground.com, and then it'll have a bunch of this numbers and letters at the end. So basically what this does is this helps support the channel by giving us a small commission if you choose to buy SiteGround and you use the link. It doesn't cost you anything extra. We don't get any of your information. It's just a way for us to try to help support the channel by generating a little income. All right, thank you and enjoy the video. Alright guys, so in this video we are going to be setting up our SiteGround hosting and domain name, and basically open up a Chrome browser and go to siteground.com. Find the section that says web hosting. The site might look different at the time that you look at it, but we're looking for web hosting and you'll be able to do everything through there. So hit get started. So you have a few options here. So they have Startup, Grow Big, and Go Geek. So Startup is basically if you only ever want to have one website and you're not thinking of having multiple websites and you don't think it's going to have too much traffic, you're not going to use too much space. This is kind of like the budget value plan. So this is okay if you're just doing like a simple resume WordPress site or a small blog or something like that. But once you start cranking up the numbers of what you're doing, you're going to want a higher tiered plan. These two plans here are also good, the Grow Big and Go Geek, if you want to have multiple websites hosted on a single hosting plan, because you're going to be able to save some money. So instead of having to buy two startup plans for $3.95, you can buy one Grow Big plan for $5.95 to host two websites or more. You'll need to purchase additional domain names if you don't already own them to be able to host them on this Grow Big or Go Geek. So they're not free to have more domain names, but you will have the ability to host them on the same plan here. So I'm just going to choose the startup here just for this example and kind of keep note of this special price here. So it might be different for you depending on what link you clicked on or what promotions are out there at the time, but there's a $3.95 a month and there's a $11.95 a month for regular. So $3.95 a month means that for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, it's going to cost you the equivalent of $3.95 a month. They're not going to charge you each month. You're going to pay it all up front. So it's kind of trying to show you smaller numbers, but you're actually paying the whole 1, 2, or 3 years up front. So I highly recommend that you go with the highest number of years, unless you really only need it for 1 year, because after that $3.95 a month, then you're going to be paying the $11.95 a month value for the next 2, 3, or however many years that you're going to be using your site. So you really should buy the highest level. I think even if you don't think you're going to do it for more than 2 or 3 years, I would recommend getting the higher tiered, because you're going to be paying pretty much more than 2-3 times that amount of the promotional price for those additional years. So you'll be making it back. And you can always just, like, if you don't want to continue with the website that you created, you can buy a new domain name and just stick it on here. You can just, it's just you only have one at a time, or if you bought the other ones, then there's no real issues there. Okay, all right, so here, get plan. So first thing that they show you here is register a new domain, or I already have a domain. So obviously the domain is the www.whatever.com, right? Or you can do org, co, whatever. They have a cat, whatever you want, but typically it's a .com, right? So if you don't have one, which I'm going to assume you don't, type in something unique that's short, easy to remember, and probably fun, and see if anybody's taken it already. If you already have one, I already have a domain button, but we're not going to go over that. So let me show you what happens if somebody already has that domain. So Squiding Pro, I know somebody already has this. So it's going to do a search and it's going to say domain name chosen is not available, and they give you some other options. So I'm not going to choose any of these other options, because if somebody has squidingpro.com, then it's just going to be confusing if I bought the .net or whatever other version, because when I ask somebody to go to my website, they're always going to go to the .com. So I'm going to try squidingpros.com. So if I don't see that error, then that means it's available. So it says domain is available for registration, and you get that confirmation. All right, so what you need to do, fill out all this information, email, name, country, and your payment information into here, and that'll get you kind of set up of logistical stuff, what you need. Here's the term for the hosting service. Like I said, 12 to 36 months. So I'm going to choose 36 months, and you can see down here the total price. So 12 months would be 63 and 36 would be 158, which you have to pay up front, but you'll have 3 years of hosting. And then domain registration is $15.95, and I highly recommend domain privacy, because otherwise your name and address and all that stuff is going to be attached to your website for anybody to be easily able to find that. And I went without that 1 year, and I got a bunch of spam letters and emails and all sorts of stuff, so I never went without it again. So I highly recommend this. So just to point out, even though hosting is 1 to 3 years, the domain services, so registration and privacy, is only for 1 year. So you'll have to renew this every year. So this price is for 3 years of hosting service, and then it's for 1 year of domain registration and privacy. And each year you'll get a notification that your registration is about to expire, and they'll ask you if you want to renew, and you can renew if you want. Okay, so once you're all done, click the confirmations here and hit pay now, and then you'll be all set. So you'll get an email from SiteGround letting you know when your site is up and ready to go. They'll give you access to how to log in to your management area, so that you can start getting ready to do stuff with your account, and do stuff like create a WordPress site, or just be able to hook up an existing web application or whatever that you want to host on their site. So this is going to be a short video on how to create an email account in your SiteGrounds, and it's going to use your domain name. So let's go over to My Accounts, and then on here click Go to cPanel, and then scroll down. We want the mail section here and email accounts. Alright, and this top section, if you have more than one domain name, you're going to need to toggle the drop down for the one that you want. So I'm going to choose that one, and then you can put whatever you want in here, but try to keep it professional since it is your resume site. So I'm just going to do like that, and then enter a password. Okay, and then hit create account. And now you have an email account. So you can set this up to look at this on your phone, or you can click one of these links under more to access the webmail. You're going to have to do some configuration. So let's see. Let's use that. And there you go. So this is your inbox, and then you're good to go. Now that you have your domain and hosting plan all set up, you should be able to log into your SiteGround account. So it's going to look something like this. It might look a little bit different if it's in the future and they do a revamp of the site, but go to My Accounts, and you should see something similar to this. I have multiple domains in my hosting account, which you may or may not have. If you do, then you'll see both of those or all of those domains here, and then any WordPress installations you'll see here. This one on the bottom, I actually uninstalled this, so I'm not sure why it still shows there, but just don't worry about that for right now. So if you are going to have multiple domains on your hosting plan, you are going to need a higher tier of plan. So let me show you their site here. So if you chose the startup plan, this is fine for one domain or one website, but if you want more than one domain on your hosting plan, then you will have to get the Grow Big or Grow Geek. So just keep that in mind. I do have a video out there telling you how to do this if you want to have multiple domains on your hosting plan. Alright, so let's go back to here, click on Go to cPanel. So the cPanel is going to give you all the tools that you have available for you for your site. We aren't going to use most of them, but there are good things in here. So if you ever wanted to play around with anything, go in here and check things out. So we're going to go down to the WordPress tools, WordPress installer. And then you can see under current installations, you can see only one of my sites is having WordPress and not the new one that I just set up. So let's do install now. So if you have only a single site or a single domain, you will not have this list of multiples. You'll just see that your domain name there. So I need to select mine since I have multiples. Leave it as HTTPS up here, and then go down here, give your site a name, and then give it a short description. Okay, everything else can stay the same. Let's admin username. So this is what you're going to use to log into your WordPress admin account, and then give it a good password here that you can remember. And you can change this email to whatever you want. I'm actually going to change it to the one I use more often. Okay, alright, and that is it. You can leave everything else as default and hit install. And this will just take, it says 3 to 4 minutes, but it takes probably under less than a minute. So when it's done, it will give you this. So this link here, you might want to bookmark this because this is the link that you're going to use to log into your site, your site's WordPress admin panel. So if you put that in there and then you put in your username and password, then you are now in your WordPress admin panel. So this is where you're going to do everything else from now on related to WordPress and to your resume site regarding WordPress. So you do not have to go back into SiteGrounds to modify your WordPress stuff. So that's why I said bookmark the URL that they gave you, and then you can log in directly from there. So the first thing we're going to do before we get too far into this, since we just installed WordPress, is we want to install a security plugin so that people can't do bad stuff to our site. So go over here, hover plugins, and click add new, and search for iThemes security. And then you can see this one here, 900,000 plus active installations and good reviews. We're going to install this now. You're going to take a look to see what it does. You can click on here. These are pro features. If you want to pay for it, you can get extra stuff. But down here, you can see prevents brute force attacks, scans your site and reports vulnerabilities, bans troublesome user agents, strengthens server security, and all that good stuff. So go ahead and do that. Activate that guy, and then it kicks you over to installed plugins. Let's hit settings on iThemes security, and then go ahead and hit secure site. Then put an email address in here. So sure. And then good. Okay, and that looks good. So it actually did a site scan and it says things are okay at the moment. All right, so take a look at this. You can mess with these options if you want, or you can just leave them as defaults. I think if you go to the dashboard, you might see something. No. Let's go back over there real quick. So security, settings. So this is what we did. Global settings, okay. And manage and configure email. So you can configure your email notifications. There's file change detection here. You can enable. So I'm going to do that because then if somebody changes files without me knowing, then I know. You can block specific IP addresses and agents. Probably won't do that. You can set an away mode, so if you know you're going to be on vacation for like 2-3 weeks, then you can say that, oh, I don't want anybody to be able to access this site because they shouldn't be able to. So you can do that there. And I think that's all I'm going to do right now. So that looks good. Let's go back to the dashboard here real quick, and looks fine here. Okay, so that's it. So now your site has an extra layer of protection there to keep bad people out and keep your site as safe as possible. So once WordPress is installed, it actually installs a default theme onto your site. So if you click on this home icon, let's do a right click and open link in new tab. So you can see this is what your site looks like right now if you go to the domain name that you specified. This look and feel and behavior and everything on here is how your site will look using that theme. So this one is set up to be like a blog type site. So let's go over to appearance and themes. And let me explain to you what themes are. So themes are basically what I said. It's determines how your page will look and feel and behave. So this is the one that is default set up for your site. It's 2017. They have a 2015. So they have this option for themes that are not active on your site. You can do a live preview, and you can get an idea of what your site will look like. So you can see this one is more minimalist. Let's try 2016. And then this one is formatted like that, so you can see that the menus are on the right instead of the left, and so forth. So to add a new theme, you just simply click this add a new theme button, and you can see there are tons of themes on here. Many are free, and there are some that are paid for. It will be up to you what you decide to use, whether you use a free or a paid theme, depending on the look and feel that you want to get to. But for this course, we are going to use a theme called Hestia. So when you search for that, 3 things pop up, but we want this one over here. So let's do a preview, and you can see that this is what it looks like. But we're going to modify this a little bit because this is showing in kind of like a blog format, which is not necessarily what we want for our resume, but we want more of what this is showing over here. And I will show you how to do that. So first, let's hit this install button, and then hit the activate. And now if you go back to our page and refresh, you can see now our site is using the new theme. So this is the Hestia theme. And if you open this, you can see what it looks like. So this is all sample content since you haven't actually created any posts or anything. But we will clean that up and put in real content in the coming videos. So let's have a quick look around our theme. Log into your WordPress dashboard and go over to Appearance, and there's a Customize option. If you choose that, then you will see a preview of what the site looks like. So I am going to show you a few things. So this is the active theme, is the Hestia. View Pro features. If you want to do the Pro version, you can do that through here. It adds more customization options. You won't need the Pro version for this walkthrough though. There's this Orbit Fox thing. Go ahead and install and activate. This is just required by some of the options and whatnot in the theme. So you can see that message went away. Site identity. So this is what we created or what we set when we created our domain. You can go ahead and change this now if you want. So title of the site, and then the tagline. You can see the title goes up here, and then the tagline is in this main header section up here. You can also add icons through here. Let's see, appearance settings. So you have how your pages are laid out. So you can kind of do like no sidebars option, or you can have a sidebar here or a sidebar there. So what you're looking at here is a blog post. So this is a sidebar on the right. So imagine the sidebar on the left would look like this, and this is a preview. So you can work with this as much as you want, but until you hit this publish button, it won't become live. So let me actually open up a new tab and go to the site, and you can see that this is still in that setup, even though in our preview it's like this. So feel free to play around with this. If you do want to save it, you can do save draft. So I just clicked on this gear and you can hit save draft to save your options, but you don't want them to go live quite yet because you're not done tweaking with it. You can do that. These are share icons. Let's see if they're anywhere on the page here. I think they might be. Let's see. There they are. So the share icons are the Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus. So that's within the post or within the blog or the page. Let's see what else there is. Let's go back to the home. Enable scroll to top. So I think that's this section here. Let's see. Oh, no. It's this arrow here. So this arrow kicks you back to the top. So that's a nice, I'm just going to enable that because that's a nice nice to have option for people, so they don't have to scroll all the way to the top. They can just hit this button and it kicks them back up there. It doesn't hurt anything, and it's kind of cool. Let's see, box layout. So you can see what it does there. Box kind of takes it and does some formatting, so it looks like there's a box on top of the background, and it kind of floats on top of there. If you take that off, then it's just kind of like that. So I like this. I'm gonna go ahead and save draft. Okay, there we go. And then let's continue. Typography, you can choose your fonts. So you can see that it changes a little bit here. So I kind of like this one, the Arial Helvetica, for the headings, and then the body is default, but we can change that also. And
That's fine, and you can change default font sizes and whatnot. I'm just going to leave that all as is. I'm going to save this. Go back, background image. We'll play with this later, but this is where you would do it. So you can select the image. Let's see. So they have a sample one that you can use, and you can see that it sticks it in here for the background. And you can have some options here. Header image. So right now it's just using a color, but you can put an image there instead. And I'm just going to save and go out of here. All right, where were we? I think front page settings. Let's see. Yes, front page settings. All right, this is where you kind of set up different things. There's like, actually, let's go back to this one because we haven't got to this part yet. So skip front page settings, blog settings. That's not useful at the moment. Let's see, very top bar is up here. So this is your menu. Then you can see what's in there. We'll mess with that later. Let's see, header options, navigation, header settings. That's all for navigation and for like the sidebar navigation. You can adjust colors here. Menus, so this is what goes in those menus. So home and blog is what's up here right now. And widgets, we will work with this later. So widgets are basically little pieces of something that either code or pictures or a form or something that you can stick easily on your page. All right, so we're not going to touch additional CSS because that's more of an advanced thing. There's documentation here. We're going to go to homepage settings. So let's take a look here. So right now we're looking at a blog view as our homepage. So as you can see, when you go to my website, it's the blog, it's the latest blog posts. But we don't want that for this site. Since this is going to be a resume site, we want kind of a static featured page. So select this one here, and then this is what our static page could look like. And then now you can see actually the background image is there. But you can see this is pretty slick. It's eye-catching, and it's pretty standard for home pages for a lot of sites now these days. So let's do that. Home page, just say home, that's fine. Post page, blog, that's fine. And then let's save this. And then I'm actually going to publish. So it's published now. So if we refresh, so now you can see that we have our new homepage, which looks pretty good, but we're going to have to enter our information in here and do some more customization. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to change this header image here. It's cute and all, but it's not professional, and it probably would look weird to a prospective employer of somebody holding a teddy bear on my resume site. So what I'm going to do, so if you go back to your WordPress site, and if you click on one of these icons here, it'll jump you to the section where this stuff lives. So you can see it panned over, and then we want to change this image. If you have a high resolution image that is in landscape of yourself, then you can put this in here. You want something professional and something that wouldn't be seen as inappropriate. I don't have anything of just me. All of my pictures are with family or friends. So I'm gonna use just a stock image. So if you go to unsplash.com, These are royalty-free images. You can use them on your site as you wish. And I'm going to search for travel. You can pick a photo, whatever you like. So there's like good stuff in here, like these things look pretty professional, right? Even this is like interesting. So you want something in landscape view. So I don't know if I'd go with this one here because that's a little too exciting, but something like these maps or possibly a beach scene or something. I'm actually going to choose this one because it's interesting and it's kind of cool. So I'm just going to download that. And it takes a second there. All right. So let's go ahead and change image. Then you're going to have to go to upload files here. And then you can select the file or just drop it. If you're using Chrome, you can just do this and then it'll drop it in there for you. And then title, let's remove this. Let's just say header image. That's fine. For the alt text, and slowly but surely it has loaded. So let's go back to here. Let's refresh our site. Oh, we haven't saved, so let's publish. And now refresh our site. And now you can see there's a new image there. So this works for me. That looks a little bit more professional. Let's go with that. While we're in here, let's change a few other things. So title, so change in customizer doesn't sound like a great title. So I'm just going to put my name here. And then underneath it, I'm going to put senior QA engineer. So whatever your job title is or what you want to be, put that in there. And then button text. For right now, let's just put say contact me. Sure. Let's just leave it like that for now. The URL that the button goes to, we'll do that in a later lesson. But for right now, this should be good. So this looks better. If you wanted to, you can do a left line of the text, a right line of the text. This will probably depend on your image. So this is actually pretty good like this for me because it doesn't get distracted by the person standing in the background and whatnot. So I'm going to publish that. And let's take a look full screen here. Okay, let me close this. So that looks pretty good. So just be careful when you're putting images with the people in them because your employer might be like, oh, is that you in the picture? And then you're just gonna have to tell them like, no, I just thought the picture was cool. So all right, so that header section is done. So the next section we are going to update is the contact section at the very bottom. If you scroll down there, let's go ahead and it says that we need to install a plugin here. We can do that through here. So if you click on the pencil, it'll pop up on the left. So install and activate. And then it's going to ask you to reload the page. Okay, scroll all the way back down again. And now you can see there's a contact form there. So it's your name, your email, subject, and message. So that will appear at the bottom of the page. And then let's change some of this stuff here. So if you want to change the image here, you can. I think I will because this doesn't look like the city that I live in. So I'm going to go over to unsplash.com again. Let's see if I can find something more like where I'm from. So I think this is one of our lovely waterfalls. Let me try this one. See how that looks? Change image, and pop it in there. See how that looks. Not too bad. Let's see on the real page. Refresh. Okay, that looks pretty good actually. So let's go with that. For me, your picture might look a little bit different depending on your taste. So get in touch. That's fine for me. If you want to change the name of that, you can. I'm going to change this to say, please use the contact form for I'm very bad at spelling, so I'm going to Google this. I spelled it correctly, good. Alright. So I'm going to say, please use the contact form for inquiries, for any inquiries. Okay, that's good. You can change this. It's not contact us, it's contact me. Alright, and then this looks funny here, so to update that, you go to contact content and you hit this edit button over here, and you will see this. So I do not want to give a phone number because I don't want random people just calling me on my personal phone, and then I'm just going to say I'm just going to try this, see how this looks. Portland, Oregon. And let's see. That looks like we have this little icon still there. I'm not sure if there's a way to remove that. Looks like there isn't. So I'm just going to delete this. Then let's see, what is this? This is H4. So H4, and then this is probably going to populate in here. No? There we go. Okay, so you have to play around a little bit here to figure out where the text goes. So this is H4. For some reason this looks huge. So I'm going to go into the HTML here because I messed something up. Oh, let's see if I could just do this. There we go. So let me undo that. So since I don't want to give a phone number, what I did was, you see this line that says H4 class icon primary, and then it says FA mobile. So just delete that whole line because you don't need it. Okay, and then now that little icon went away. So I think this is okay for me. Pretty simple. Let's go ahead and publish and refresh here. Alright, so now we have a contact form on your site and just a little bit of location information. Okay, we are going to update the testimonials section. So if you look in down here, it's the one that says what clients say. There's my little pencil. So if you click on here, you can see front page sections, there's the testimonials. Also, I want to mention that anytime you see this eyeball here, that means that that section is displayable. So if you hit this button here on any of the sections, it will hide or unhide that section. So if anything on here that we do you don't want, you can go ahead and disable that section, and then it will not show. And there's a couple others that we're not using, and if you want to use those, repurpose them for something, then you can. You just have to enable them for viewing. Alright, so I'm going to change this from what clients say to I'm going to use my couple reviews that I have, recommendations from LinkedIn. So let's see, we're just going to call it recommendations. And did I spell that correctly? I did. Alright, so I'm going to copy this one, and then I'm going to change the text, leave the quotes in there, and just hit paste. So that's a pretty long one, but that's okay. Title, business owner. So I'm just going to grab whatever was here. Guess I can't copy from that. See how that looks? Okay, so that's good. The image looks kind of funky, so we can update that later. I'll have to find something more generic. And then for the link here, I'm just going to give the link back to my LinkedIn page, since you can't link to the reviews. So this will be clickable. Alright, so I only have 2 testimonials on here, so I'm just going to delete the third one, and you can see that it auto adjusts. So let me grab the second one I have here. There we go. And then let's see this. Okay, that's fine. And actually, let's just shorten that a little bit. Okay, software dev. I think people will understand. And then grab my link again. Okay, so that's good. Change the name. And that's good. So this image is probably okay for this one. This one is probably going to look weird because they're going to wonder, oh, that doesn't look like a Jason Elwood. So let's go back to Unsplash. Let's try silhouette. So don't know how to spell. So if I spelled it incorrectly, which I did, has an H in it and a U. Alright, so ignore my poor spelling. Let's see. So these are probably pretty good. That's kind of creepy. All right. So I might just grab this one here. And then I only need this tiny picture here, so let me see what that looks like here. I'm going to grab that URL, and if you paste that in here, you can see what the image looks like. So it's a pretty decent sized image, but it's not going to be as huge as this one is. So you can, let me see if I can do this. Yep. So I'm going to crop this down. I'm going to use a tool called Canva. This is free. And then I'm going to use custom dimensions. Let's try 400 by 400 design. And then let's name it. Alright, I'm just going to name it what it's supposed to be. I'm going to upload something first. Downloads. Interesting. Where did my image go? Any sense? Huh. Strange. Let's find the image. Making things worse. Oh, I think I broke my computer. Let's try this again. There we go. Show in Finder. So it's there. All right, let's try this again. Upload. Upload your image. Downloads. There it is. Okay. So it's downloading. And once this water finishes, that means it's done, I think. There we go. And then let's copy this over here. And actually, this image is not that big. But let's do this anyways. I'm just going to stretch this out. Center it there. Let's download this. Alright, let's find one of our many tabs. It's this one here. Okay, upload image, choose file, and let's drag this guy in here. Put that in the alt text. Okay, that looks pretty good. So, alright, that's good. So if you have more recommendations, you can put them in. We do need to update this though. So subtitle section, read what others have said about my work. Okay, and let's publish this. Let's go ahead and refresh. Where's this guy? Alright, so that's still there. Scroll down, and then you can see recommendations. It's down here, so that looks good. Okay, that is done. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to update the team section and the blog section. So I'm going to go over to team here, and what I'm going to do for the update is I'm just going to disable it because I don't need it. If you want to keep it and repurpose it for something, that's up to you. The blog section, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to disable it because I'm not going to keep a blog on here since I have my other site as a blog. But if you want to use this for your blog, then you can leave this enabled, and then it will automatically populate your most recent blog posts. So you can change this number from like 3 to 1 or 6 or whatever you want, however many you want to show. So I'm just going to disable this. Okay, and then since I disabled the blog section, I'm also going to disable this blog link up here. So let's see, primary menu, so edit menu. I'm just going to remove this so I don't have a blog. So now that's gone from there, and you can also see it's not gone from there. So I need to go back and find the other menu, footer menu, primary menu. There we go. So you just need to set it as a menu type of primary menu, and then they will both just say home, which is fine. Just publish. And let's take a look at our site. Let's refresh. Okay, so recommendations, and then get in touch. So we've made it quite a bit shorter, but that's okay. It's gonna still serve the purpose. Okay, so the next section we're going to update is the About section. I'm just going to put a quick blurb about me that I usually put in my site's profile message or whatever you have on your LinkedIn account. So let's go ahead and hit Edit Content. So we're going to want to change About. So I'm going to say About Me. And I already got this in my clipboard, so I'm just going to paste that. Looks like they have some images here, which we don't need. And that's fine. Let's see how this looks. I'm going to try to delete this one, see what happens. Alright, that's fine. Actually, let me try something here. Alright, so there we go. That looks better. Okay, delete that back again. So I just changed this from a 5-column to a 12-column. You can edit this to whatever looks best for you. You can put anything up to 12, so anything between 1 to 12. Let's try 9. That's 19. 9. Okay, 9 looks pretty good. Okay, for you it might be a little bit different values, but this is what looks good for me. You can change this image. Maybe I'll use my tree waterfall again, since that matches the bottom there. Okay, so that section is done. Okay, so we're going to update the features section, which is this area near the top. So this is going to be probably the most important section other than the contact form for us to update, because this is going to be like your highlight of your skills. So there's going to be 2 options that we're going to display. Option 1 is going to be just listing out different bullet points of skills that you have or different accomplishments that you've done through here. That's going to be text only. It's not going to link to anything. So if you want to go with option 1, then this will pretty much be the last lesson for you, because this page will be done for you. If you want to go with option 2, then there's going to be another section that we're going to go through that you're going to learn how to do things like updating your site or uploading your work portfolio to your site. So things might include other websites that you've created, or links to GitHub or whatnot. But we can learn more about that if you want to do that. But for right now, this is option 1, where we're just going to update the text. So let's go ahead and click on that pencil there. So let's see, what should we call this? Let's call it my accomplishments. Okay, and then if you can make this say whatever you want, and then let's change this. So the title of this one is, let's just say, for me, say project management, and then you can type in whatever you want here. So managed a project from start to finish, and then just put in whatever else you need to put in there. So I don't have a sample for that, but just go ahead and fill in your information there. You're going to want to take that hash out of the link, because if you don't have that hash, if you go over here, so this has the hash on it, and if you click on it, it kicks you to the top of the page. If you remove that, then it won't be a link. So when you do this, it will not hover and do that animation. So you want to remove that if you're not linking to anything. If you want to change the icon, you just need to put the icon code in here. You can open this and you can see the different options for the icons. So if you wanted to do something else, so if you wanted like the Android one, let's find the icon code. So FA Android, so it's in here. So if you just replace this with that, and I think you might need to publish it for it to show up. There you go. Okay, you can do that. So you can see the icon changed. If you want to change the color of it, you can do that also. And looks like you need to do something else, because it's not activating this. Right, there we go. So you have to kind of fool the system into doing something. So go ahead and repeat that process for the other two. You can add more if you want, so they'll just get added to the bottom. And then it looks like they also have like a quick and easy way to do that. So you can see it's lined there, and then when you add a second one, it'll automatically space it out. So you can add as many as you want here. That's up to you. One other thing that we're going to do is we're going to remove this contact me button, because we created a contact me form at the bottom, so we don't need this. Let's go and publish this and go back. Oops, customize. Let's go here, and to remove that button, you just have to remove the hash. It will disappear, and publish. Okay, so if you've gotten this far, then you have completed the first version of this resume site. Just has information about you, some supporting details about accomplishments, some mission statements, recommendations from others, and a way for people to get in touch with you if they wanted to get your resume or anything, or give you a job offer. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to upload your website to your SiteGround's account. This is going to be an external site. It's not going to be part of your WordPress account, but it'll be living on your domain name. So first thing we're going to do is go to your SiteGround's account, hit My Accounts, go to cPanel, and then scroll down to Files, and then click on FTP Accounts. So you should already have one here. If you don't, then go ahead and create one up there. But this is the one that I'm going to use. Click on this Configure FTP Client, and we're going to use FileZilla. So click on this Configure FTP configuration file, and it will download an XML file. And then let's open a new tab. You need to download FileZilla if you don't already have it. So this is just a free utility that lets you manage files between your local computer and the server. So go ahead and download the FileZilla client and install it. And then when you're done with that, go ahead and open it. So you can close that. So what we're going to want to do is stretch on my screen real quick. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to File, and then import, and then find the XML file that you downloaded, hit open, and then hit OK. And when you click on this icon over here, you should see something that looks like that. It's going to be FTP dot something, and I'm going to rename this guy. I don't know what it's for. And then it's already gone ahead and put in all the configuration information you need. I'm going to change this ask for password to change it to be normal, and then I'm going to type my password in here. Only do this if you're working on a computer that is your own computer, because somebody would be able to open this application and just directly log into your site, which would not be good. Go ahead and click connect. You can hit that always trust and OK. And then now on the right is the server. So this is your server on SiteGrounds, and on the left is your personal computer. So let me try to find where my stuff is. System. So I'm trying to find where my stuff is. You can never find it. So grab the path here. Alright, so mine is going to be under here. Yours is just going to be wherever you have your files. And then I just want this folder here. So I'm going to drag that into this main folder here. And then you can see it now popped up there. If we go to this and we type in and then the name of the folder, so type in your domain name and the name of the folder, and then this is our page that we created. So now we have a link to the page website that we created, and actually we have the code running on our site. So all we had to do is link that to our resume page, and then other people will be able to easily find it. So since we've already gone ahead and uploaded our site to our domain, so let me show you where we uploaded my personal superhero site. It's on the domain that I've created, and now I want to link to it from here. So I'm going to go ahead and click this pencil icon feature, and then I'm going to put the link there, and then we are going to put some text here. Let's see, call this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery site using Bootstrap. Try it out. Login is any email and password. Alright, so just a little bit of information about what it is, and for my site it gives you a login page, but for right now it's just a dummy page, so you can put any email and password in there and it'll let you in. Okay, and then we're going to change this to superhero Bootstrap. Simple. Okay, a little lengthy there, but let's just get rid of the superhero part. Let's just call it Bootstrap front end sample. Alright, and that's good. We don't want this Android thing, so let's go find an icon that looks better for our site. Is there a superhero? Cape. Let's see. No cape, no superheroes. Let's say badge, ribbon, no. Let's see. Site maybe. Bootstrap have something in here? Nope. Robot. Let's do a robot. That's cute. All right. So FA robot is the code here. So instead of my Android, a robot, that blue color is perfectly fine. And I'm going to change this to save. Okay. And that guy is not showing up for some reason. Let's do a refresh. That one doesn't work. So let's take a look back here. FA robot. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's try something else. So let's type a robot from here. Oh, I guess you can't use that one. Let's do a rocket ship. Okay, that works. Rocket ship it is. You could choose whatever icon you want, but I'm going to go with the rocket ship. I'm going to change this to publish. And publish. And let's go. I'm going to close this. One more thing I want to do is, I guess it doesn't let me do that, but let's go to our site, refresh, and let's hit the rocket ship, and then it takes you to your superhero site. Alright, so you have now linked to your sample project or whatever, and that is all set to go. Okay, so we're almost done here. I just want to add a few more links on here. So if you have more pages to link to that you've uploaded, you can do that here. I only have the one at the moment, so I'm going to link to some of my social sites. So you don't want to link to like your Facebook or your Twitter account, because those are more of like the personal social sites, but I'm talking about LinkedIn, profiles, your GitHub account, things like that, something that can showcase your work. So let's go click on this pencil here. So let's do the second one. Let's call this LinkedIn. And then let's see if we have a LinkedIn. Good, we have one there. So LinkedIn Square, that color works for me. Actually, let's try something more. I like that one. Okay, so let's do that color, and then change the text here. See my skills and work history on LinkedIn. Okay, and then let's get the link for LinkedIn. I grab the URL for my profile. Let's see. I think this is it. There we go. That's my LinkedIn profile URL. Put that in there. And then I'm going to change this to save, since I'm going to be doing a few things. So save that. So the first one is done. Second one, let's do GitHub. See my projects on GitHub. So if you haven't used GitHub before, this is where you're going to host your code. So I could, if I wanted to, I could post the source code for this website there. If you took my course for protractor automation, you would have the source code for that at the end of the course, and you would also have the source code for the protractor test suite that you created. So you would be able to put those into GitHub. Let me go to my account, get the URL. So let's see, more. All right, I think I want this one here. So log out. Yep. Actually, this one. There we go. That's what I want. So I'm going to grab that and find where I'm supposed to be. And let's see if we have a GitHub. Let's see if it just shows up here. GitHub. Oh, that worked. Okay, so that's the GitHub logo. The green color is perfectly fine for me. Let's see. I think that's it for me for right now. If you want to add more, you can. I'm going to delete that Facebook one because we don't want that. I'm going to save the draft and go ahead and change that to publish. And then let's take a look at our site. Let's do a refresh. Okay, so now you have your site. If you hover, you can see that they are links. You can see at the bottom here, bottom left, that it shows you what the link is for. So if you click on one of those, it'll take you to my LinkedIn profile. If you click on the GitHub one, it'll take you to my GitHub profile. Okay, all right, so that is it for that. Alright, so if you've made it this far, then congratulations, you have completed this course. You should now be able to have a beautiful resume website of your own. Feel free to continue to tweak and edit it to best showcase your talents and abilities and for you to land that perfect job out there.